Hello everyone, myself Dr. Sonam Gupta, working as a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So today we are going to discuss the security and privatization issues with digital marketing. It is a complex topic in digital and social media marketing. So firstly, the security and privacy issues in digital marketing. Let's see what it is and how it grows. So as digital marketing grows, so do the concerns about user data security and privacy. The key issues which include they are first one, data breach. It is the unauthorized access to customer data and it can damage the brand reputation. Second one, tracking and cookies. So it is excessive tracking via cookies without clear consent. It raises ethical concerns. Third one, lack of transparency. Users who are unaware of how their data is collected, stored and used. Regularity compliances. Business, it must comply with various laws like GDPR of EU, CCP of USA and the upcoming Digital Personal Data Protection Act of India. Consent management. Collecting and managing user consent properly, it is both a legal and ethical necessity. So as consumers, they became more privacy conscious. The marketers, they must adopt ethical data practices and ensure robust cyber security, and they must be transparent in their communication. So in India, what are the specific trends for it? So first one, it is regional language content. So search in vernacular content across the platforms. Second one, WhatsApp marketing. So growing use of WhatsApp business for customer engagement. Influencer marketing. Rise of macro and nano influencers. They are targeted to niche the audiences. Voice search optimizations. So more users using Hindi and regional languages via voice. Video first strategy, that is a short form videos, reels or the shorts driving the major traffic. So what are the specific trends? These are the various trends which are being used in India, like WhatsApp marketing is used, various influencers are used, and we have seen like if we shop through any e-commerce site, we can search that particular thing which we are looking at by using the voice, and that voice can be in Hindi or in any other regional language. Along with that, we can also see, suppose I am searching for a particular type of pen. So, what can be the thing that before showing that particular pen, we can have a video for that, so that the user can come to know that what type of pen it is, what is its nib quality, what can the ink for it, is it durable or not, any particular user who is using it, they can have their videos. So, these are the specific trends which are being followed. So that more and more number of users can access it, but with security. So for that, Indian Act is also there. In the global trends, what they are using? AI driven campaigns. So use of generative AI for content, chatbots and the personalizations. Zero and first party data. Due to cookie phase out, so the marketers are focusing on direct user data. Sustainability messaging. Brands emphasizes on eco-consciousness in their campaigns. Omni-channel experience, the seamless experience across mobile, web in store and social media. We can also have AR, VR immersive ads. So, use of interactive and immersive tech in the user engagement. What can be by the help of this AR, VR? Any particular user who is looking for any type of product, then they can easily see that whether this product will look good on them or not. They can also see that how that particular product will be looking over them, like we are having Lenskart. So Lenskart also provides this particular feature that which type of glasses will look good on a particular user. So we can also have our photograph over there, and through selecting various types of glasses, we can easily see that which type of glass will look good on me. So this is another a technique. So this is also being used in India as well. So we are having omni-channel experiences. So what is omni-channel experience? Omni-channel experience is that there will be same experience throughout. Whether I am going to the store, whether I am doing online shopping, whether I am doing online shopping through the web, or whether I am doing online shopping through their app. Through any source of medium, I am accessing that particular store that is giving me seamless shopping experience. So that is the omni-channel experience. Now, let's see the security and privacy issue in Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, which is a global scandal. So, context was that in 2018, it was revealed that Cambridge Analytica, which is a political consulting firm, they harvested data from over 87 million Facebook users without their explicit consent. So, what was the impact of that? The data was used for micro-targeting political ads in elections. Massive global backlash on user data misuse, because it was personal information that was connected, and by collecting that particular data, that was used in the elections. So that was a global backlash. Facebook faced heavy fines and stricter data scrutiny, and it triggered GDPR in Europe and also influenced India's upcoming Digital Personal Data Protection Act. So, just by accessing personal information of the users in the elections, Facebook, what they did, they had given that personal data to that election companies, to political parties, and then Facebook was faced with heavy fines. After that, GDPR in Europe, that is a Commission Act which came out, and also in India, we are having Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which is being amplified, and through this act, WhatsApp messages, Facebook information, all those things, they are said to be secured in a certain way. But if that particular data is compromised, then that data can be used for anything, that can be misused for anything. Like this is just an example that it has been used in elections. It can be used anywhere for any, like we are having various cases of deepfakes as well. So that can be used there as well. Now, what was the lesson for the marketers from this particular case study? Transparency in data collection is essential, because the users must know that how their data is collected, what the data they are collecting, how it is being stored, and how those companies will be using or accessing that particular data. Always ensure informed consent and comply with the privacy laws. So, before storing that data, we should have the privacy laws, and there should be the consent of the user as well on it. So, user consent is also play an important role. Ethical digital marketing, it builds long-term trust, because if my data is not being compromised anyhow, if my data is secure, then also the trust of the customer will be built upon the company. So it is just not being the product through which the trust will be built. The trust will be built on the basis of my secure data as well. The data which is being collected by the online stores, because they are having all sorts of information. They are having my personal informations, like address, phone number, name. Along with this, they are having the information for my UPIs as well. They are having my credit card numbers, the CVV number also they can store. So because for that only, we need to be very much sure that the particular online store through which we are shopping, how much reliable source it is. So, to build the long-term trust, ethical marketing also plays an important role. The data which is being saved on the websites of any particular site, or they are using the cookies as well, that must be trusted anyhow. They cannot be compromised. Now, let's see another trend in digital marketing, like India's Amul's real-time marketing strategy. So, brand was Amul India. Their strategy They uses a real-time marketing approach, as we all know, with its iconic Amul girl in the topical ads. Leveraging social issues, sports wins, politics, movies, etc. to stay relevant and viral. They shared heavily on Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. Now, what was the impact of it? High engagement due to reliability and humor. They built strong emotional connection and the brand recall, because anytime we say Amul, okay, that Amul girl comes to our mind instantly. So that is the emotional connection and the brand recall by the help of that girl. Cost effective but high visibility campaigns. So it was high visible and it was cost effective as well, just by using that Amul girl in all those topical ads. So what they did in all the political rallies, in all the sports when they were having, on all the social medias that were there. So we were having that Amul ad everywhere. By that, they created an emotional connection between the people. Next is global trend example of Nike, the hyper personalization through the data. So brand name was Nike. The approach they uses first party data from its website, app and Nike Plus community. It delivers personalized product recommendations, workouts and marketing messages. It combines AI, behavior data and fitness goals for tailored experiences. Now, by using this approach of first party data from the website apps, by product recommendations, by giving tips on the healthcare, by giving tips on the fitness goal, by behavioral goals. So, what was the result of using all such techniques? The result was that improved customer loyalty and the repeat purchases of Nike. Because if I say about a Nike shoe, what is the impact? Okay, that is a very good brand. So, again and again, I can make the purchase from that same particular brand as well. It reduced reliance on the third party data and growing privacy concerns. So, if I am using that particular product and it is giving me so much of information about my fitness, about my health, about AI, behavior data, etc. So, in a way, it is growing its customer loyalty, because each and every time I'm doing some purchase, some points are given to me and that point can be redeemed in my next purchase. So, that is also customer loyalty in a way. So, what are the online communities, like online communities and co-creations in the digital marketing? What are the online communities? So, online communities, they are group of people who interact, they share and engage around a common interest on brand, on digital platforms. Like we are having various digital platforms like forums, social media apps, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or dedicated apps like the Reddit, Discord, Facebook group, etc. So, these are the various online communities where people of same mindset, people of same interest, we are having lakhs of communities which are available related to finance, related to studies, related to news, any other online shopping, food, fashion, etc. Everything, for each and everything we are having one online community. So, where people of same mindset or people we can say of same interest, they share things about them. Now, why they are important? What is the importance of these online communities? First one, it is the brand loyalty. So, communities foster trust, loyalty and long-term relationships, because people can come to know each other very quickly and thereby they are building trust on each other. Customer support, members, they often help each other, reducing the support cost. Real-time feedbacks are there. So, brands, they can listen to what customer really wants. And word of mouth publicity is there. Engaged members, they become the brand advocates. So, if I have purchased something from particular community, I'm having a shopping community and I have purchased something from that particular community, and if that was good, so I am going to recommend that particular community to more number of people. So, that is a word of mouth publicity which is always there in these online communities. So customer support is also there, because a few people are there. If the product is not good, then I can easily complain over that particular community, and in the fear of that that any other person will not buy from it, that particular support will also be there 24/7, and the real time feedbacks are there, because the users which are using those particular products, they are real time, they are real customers. Like suppose I talk about myself, I'm a real customer. If I'm giving feedback of any particular item, that means I'm giving the real feedback for it. So if I'm having the real feedback, then more and more number of customers, if they're having the same interest, they can easily buy that particular product. Now, what is co-creation? Co-creation is when the brands actively involves customer in creating the value. Like what can be the value? It can be like product designing, content creation, marketing campaigns, and service improvements. Now, if I'm using this co-creation techniques like product design, content creation, marketing, service improvements, so what is the benefits of these co-creations? First benefit, it is authenticity. Now, users generated ideas, they often resonate better with the target audiences. Second is innovation, because for fresh perspectives from users, they lead to better product development. Engagement, customers feel valued and invested in the brand. And it is more cost effective as well, because it reduces R&D and marketing cost by leveraging the community input. So these are the four main benefits of co-creation. So co-creation means, as we know, we have discussed that involving the customers in creating the value. So if we are involving the customers in creating those particular values, so the data will be authentic, feedbacks will be authentic, the product will be authentic, innovation will be there, because new mindsets are there, various people are using that particular product, so they can continuously improve a product. They can tell the positives and negatives of a particular product, and thereby increasing the adding value to it. Customers also feel valued when they particularly invest in a particular brand. So that is also major requirement, major challenge, and the brand, which is the final output, it becomes cost effective. So R&D cost will be reduced, the marketing cost will be reduced, but the cost quality of the product will be very high. So this is the main benefit of having the co-creation. So co-creation and creativity, it will go hand in hand. Let's see the real world examples with the Lego ideas. The fans submit and vote on the new designs. So there are various community of users are there. What they do, they create the new designs, and then they submit the new designs, and then they vote for the new designs. Person having the more and more number of votes, the design will be submitted, and thereby we can have a good designs as well. Nike by You, user designs their own shoes, their own customized shoes according to my requirement. I can design my shoe and get it at my doorsteps. So this is where I am getting the importance and how my shoe will look like. Suppose I'm going to any shoe shop, but I'm not getting the shoe which I require. So this is also a better option. Zomato, Swiggy, they use customer memes and feedbacks in the marketing strategies. Like if you have searched over Zomato, so what is there? They show based on the ratings as well. If I choose 4+ ratings, so ratings, these are the customer feedbacks. So based on those ratings also, they can show all my menu items which I require to order. So we can say that the online communities and co-creation, they shift the role of customer from passive consumer to the active collaborator, because earlier the customer was a passive consumer. They can only order and they can get it, but there was no involvement in the brand. So what they are doing now, they are having it as an active collaborator. So in this digital age, engagement, it is the value, and the brands that listen and involve, the users thrive for it. Let's see the first case study. The online community is Sephora Beauty Insider community, it was there. Brand, it is Sephora, this is global cosmetics retailer. platform, it was a Sephora Beauty Insider community which is hosted on their website. Now, what was the objective for it? The objective is to build a loyal customer base and enhance engagement through peer-to-peer interaction. Now, what is the strategy? Created a dedicated online community for beauty enthusiasts. The members, they can ask the questions, share the reviews, post tutorials and interact with the experts. And what they offer? They offer exclusive content, early product access and the beauty challenges. So by having all these three strategies, they can easily get to their objective as well. Because what was the objective? Basically, if we see to build a loyal customer base, what is the objective? The objective is to include the customer in their particular services. Now, how it was done? It was done by having a dedicated online communities. Members, they were having the right to ask the question, to share the reviews, to post the tutorials, and they can easily interact with the experts as well. So what was the results for it? First one, as we have said, boosted customer retention and the loyalty, because now the customer is thinking to be an important part of it. Valuable insights from real users. They also helped Sephora in the product and services improvement. Increased brand advocacy through the user generated content. So the results which Sephora wanted, these were the results they wanted. What was the objective? To build the loyal customer base and enhance the engagement. And by the help of these three strategies, only these three strategies, by involving the customer, making them available, exclusive content, asking the questions only, they are able to get all these results. Now, let's see for the another case study. This is co-creation from Lego Ideas platform. We know that Lego, it is a toy company, global toy company. What was the objective? To involve fans to design new Lego sets and keep the innovation continuous, because children, they get easily bored from the toys. So, to keep more and more innovation in them, they have this. So, what they did? They launched Lego Ideas platform. What was the basic fundamental behind these platforms? The users submit their own Lego set concepts. Okay, the user, they can share their own concept. So now if an idea, and then it was put for vote. If the vote, it will get 10,000 plus vote, then Lego evaluated for the potential customer release. So once the customer or the consumer, they had given their own idea for a particular Lego set, then it is going for the vote. If the number of votes is 10,000 plus, then they think, okay, we can commercialize it. And then the winners, they get the royalties and the recognition for that. That is, we are engaging the consumer for it. Now, what was the result? Result, as expected, several fan created sets, they were turned into bestsellers. Like we know, Lego Central Perk, Lego Typewriter. So, these were the best sellers for the Lego. Strong community engagement and free-flowing innovation was there, because now many minds are working for it. They are not having a team. They are having a team of the consumers who are using it. And reinforced brand loyalty, which is an important thing by giving customers a creative voice. So, this is the basic results for it. So, we can say that if we are using these techniques through which we can build up our brand, then more and more number of customers can get attracted to it. Thank you.